A brief preamble, because there will be lots of cultural references in the poems and I'm not sure everybody will understand. I've drawn a lot from my years growing up in India. India, I don't know if all of you know, is a rich tapestry of folklore, myth, tradition, religion, gods, and we have a whole pantheon, one for every day, for every occasion. I grew up in a home where there was a big peepal tree, and the stories that were told to us as children were that if you hacked off a branch or chopped off the tree, somebody would die in the family. And there were many such tales. It's a rich tapestry of all this, and my poetry is very much informed by this. Actually, it's my voice. And as I was growing up, I discovered that there were different codes for girls and boys, which you will find in my poetry. And I will try and explain some of the references just to make it simple and easy. And I do use a word, Firoza. She was my friend. Firoza is a Parsi name. They came from Persia to India. They were very anglicized. Still, there's a small community in India. They're very anglicized and very European. Through a peephole. It was fun to go to the house where Firoza lived. The large hall with sofas in white, silk rugs on the floor, china vases and silver frames on the grand piano, light slowly turning silver or gold, Murano chandeliers, lace curtains in the breeze. When the phone rang at 4, I hated to leave, wishing I had glass slippers on my feet. But it was her mama's room where the god of all things breathed. The rich dark drapes, bed with velvet satin and crepe, against my face her furs, satins and silk scented with musk, citrus, flowers, pine, sweat and cedars that lay on my skin long after I went back home. In the mirror, my uncoiled hair, and I became the princess of my own tale. Ruby red lips, rouge pink cheeks, eyes lined jet black, hair with sparkling butterflies and clips. A black dress startled against white legs and neck, while I navigated the room on the highest of heels. One day at home, I crept into Mama's room to do alone what Firoza and I had done so often. My hands shook as I painted my face with lipstick, blushes, eyeliners and comb. I looked beautiful as I stood on tiptoe, but did not see Mama standing quiet at the door. She left the room with the devil staring me in the face, bleeding lips, red gashes for cheeks, and 2 black holes where my eyes should have been. The next is called the peepal tree. I loved the house with the peepal tree, blessed by the gods, the sacred start to our life. You followed as always, my coat on your arms, the driver waiting with a drink and a chair. The dark shadow of the peepal stretched long, and I stepped in calmed and rested from the fevered sun. You stood at the door watching with relief. I was home at last after 50 houses in a week. I was to remember the gnarled roots reaching out, weathered, rough and warm, a friend's outstretched arm. You pored over the floor plans, marveling at lines and spaces, light and shade, passages and spiral staircases. For me, the dark corners were alive with buried secrets, fingers and gently rising breasts, a crescendo of hearts, a stolen kiss. You made plans for extensions, rockery in the garden, furniture, chandeliers, rooms for servants, garages, garden parties. Alone so soon now, I see the missed omens, the bruised limbs of the people marked with red in your plans, the vermilion spilt in the courtyard temple, bits of broken bangles, the silent songs of tiny feet. Did I feel the chill of your shadow night, the sunlight on my skin? In this next poem, Love, Betrayal and Salvation, an autobiography, there are references to popular culture in India. There's reference to Paro and Devdas, like the Romeo and Juliet in Indian literature. Madhumati is an old romantic film. and I've used Bua and Masi, these are terms for aunts. Cold black, black as on a lonely night, sneaking their way past the gentle rise of my childhoods, hugging and falling soft against my knees. Every Sunday oiled and combed with fierce strokes and slowed over the years, braided with red ribbons stretching to the far ends of the earth. As Mama lost her hair to us, cancer, Papa, and fading dreams, she clung to mine, a coiled snake hard against my back, unraveling to make me a paro worthy of Devdas. It lassoed young Romeos at college and on streets, in movie halls that played Madhumati, till it finally landed on the night to my Rapunzel. But what Bua and Masi always feared came true. My long tresses an invitation for a curse from the darkest devils hungering for life. My hair and breasts were chopped off, with an urgency reserved for bad omens. My veins hungry for the chemo, disgorged by steel jabbing my arms and throbbing neck, a studying blue explored afresh, daily for uncharted territories. Bua and Masi wept as gods of retribution in charge of erring women demanded my hair in exchange for a life extension. Now they rest on my shoulders with a hint of the glory of yesteryears as I run my fingers through those thick, treacherous coils. Olivia of Ollie, the reigning deity of hair, reins them in as she whips up the hairdryer, curls and teases me each week into Scarlet, Munro and Cruz. This poem is a hymn to God Ganesha. He is a god of plenty. He is pot-bellied and traditionally wears a dhoti, which is a loincloth of sorts, and loves Indian sweetmeats. Is a reference to those in laddus and burfis. And young girls will pray to their family deity or to Ganesha for a good husband, success in exams, a fair complexion, and so on. A hymn to Ganesha. Dear Ganesha, with hands folded and head bowed, I stood at your feet, and you knew all at once what grew in my heart like a giant turnip in a vegetable show in a small town in Punjab, where I'd watched seasons light up and fade like the candle mother lit every evening, placed next to you, seated on silk, satins, brocade, and velvet cushions, with laddus and burfis vying for your eye, and every morning they were gone while your belly rolled out of your dhoti. But mother fed you still more while she hid biscuits and cakes behind ovens and high up shelves I could not reach. But I still grew, with Usman the tailor reminding mother and Didi that I needed more fabric than they had bought, and I could not run or play anymore, so friends stopped asking me home. Now I sit locked in shame while you look down on adoring eyes of rapturous devotees, invoking your blessings to bring happiness, bounty and wisdom into hearts and homes. Please, dear Ganesha, take away my belly, blessing me with the spirit of abstinence, so I'm worshipped like the slim, beauteous Priyanka as she swirls and gyrates on the silver screen, the dreamboat Ranveer. India is a land of contrasts, of rich and poor, of educated and illiterate, young and old, and this is a poem, these are the two faces of India in the voice of a young girl. The day is just 2 weeks away. Nina is coy as a bride should be. So Mama says, but I have lost a friend and will try bribe her to stay. What joyful, chaotic mornings. New wedding lists by the hour, menus slashed, torn and binned. I protest when desserts are trimmed. Clothes are a riot. Nina's shocking pink kurta, emerald jacquard, blouses in silk. Soon she will be weighed in silver and gold and abducted by the groom, I'm told. Today we choose a wedding dress in the oldest part of town. She swore where gold is woven with silk to make every lover's dream true and pure. I try wrap myself in a 6-yard sari when I see a face in the window. It is the ragpicker's daughter I saw outside. She smiles and nods. I turn to Mama and Nina, radiant and busy with fabrics and colors. The girl's face is changing shades from brown to black and darker. I hear a stone smash a window and mad laughter. and karma in India are so interwoven with our daily lives, it's difficult to isolate them. There is a strange, the collective consciousness, a strange relationship between cancer and karma. And I'm a cancer survivor, so there is a lot of that in my poetry. These two poems are on that. Just a word. I wonder if you remember the feel of flesh as it was, soft and yielding, warm and smooth, like a pebble on a riverbed. I wonder what you think at night when your hungry fingers meet hard, dead skin. I'm grateful for the dark. I wonder if you see the fear in my eyes and the chaos in my head. I wonder if you miss all the mirrors in the shower. I wonder if you ever think why I have been punished. I try to read messages in your touch, your smile, your half-closed eyes. If only you would say a word. Party pooper. I'm having a great time. It has been a wonderful party. The ladies look beautiful in the afternoon light. Half-empty glasses of wine, pink rosettes on the last pieces of chocolate cake, smoke curling up through beams of light resting on the sofa, lipstick on half-finished cups of coffee and tea. Suddenly someone mentions a viral fever in the city. It is the heat. If only the monsoons would hurry. Oh, the poor children. But they get to stay at home. Then they move on to Mrs. J's husband, whose heart gave way at such a young age, and M, the poor thing who died of cancer with none to look after her young children. I hear my voice. I had a mastectomy. I started on chemo last week. With the cup crashing and tea all over the carpet, the sunlight comes to rest on me as they all stare. Someone offers a glass of water, another a chair, and the hostess an extra helping of dessert, comfort for seared flesh. The afternoon light's gone. It is cold and musty in the room. The ladies are fat and ugly, and I can taste the bile on my tongue. Thank you.